starting to freeze. So the lake behind me is starting to freeze over. You can't walk on it yet because it's not fully ice and you'll go right through and die. But right now it's starting to freeze. So starting to boil, starting to freeze, starting to pick up. Use it to describe when a process is beginning but not yet at full power. So this beautiful lake is going to be absolutely frozen in, I don't know, it could be like a week or 2 weeks, maybe even less. Right now, it's starting to freeze. And then in the spring, it will start to thaw. There you go, folks. Random English from the mountains. The first snow is falling. Ta-da! Morning. So now, folks, you can see it has more or less frozen over. There's a thin layer of snow on top, and you can see in like this area here, it's not completely frozen, but out there in the middle, it's a lot more frozen than it was. Winter's here. Alright, here are 2 phrasal verbs for winter. This lake behind me is frozen over. If something is frozen over, there's a layer of ice on top of it. Now, it just froze over recently enough. So, if you walk on that ice, you might fall through. If you fall through ice, you literally go under the ice. So, number 1, the lake is frozen over. But number 2, be careful. You might fall through in places. And if you fall through in that lake, you're done. You're gonna be freezing. You will probably die. So, Canada is great. Frozen over, fall through. 2 great winter phrasal verbs. So, I've been standing out here for a while and starting to get a little cold. It's a lot colder than I thought it was. Give me 1 second. And that's a lot better. It's a lot colder than I thought it was. That basically means I looked outside and I thought it was going to be okay to wear my leather jacket. After standing out here for about 10 minutes, I realized I was wrong. So I can say, wow, it's a lot colder than I thought it was. I'm from Ireland, and generally speaking, we'd say, whoa, it's a lot wetter than I thought it was. Hey, it's a lot windier than I thought it was. In summer, you can probably say, man, it's a lot hotter than I thought it was. Random English lesson. Hey, this is a woodshed. It's called a woodshed because it's full of wood and it's a shed. Do you have a woodshed? When hell freezes over. So I'm just walking by. I thought of this expression because, well, it's cold. If you say when hell freezes over, it basically means you don't think it's ever going to happen. For example, politicians will tell the truth when hell freezes over. They're probably never going to tell the truth. My brother said he'd let me drive his car when hell freezes over. In other words, he'll never let me drive his car. I think I'll be a good singer when hell freezes over. I don't think I'll ever be a good singer. It still won't stop me. So, my name's Ronan, and I'll be a good singer when hell freezes over. What will you be good at when hell freezes over? Let me know. What's up? As you can see, it is foggy. Very, very foggy. This is called freezing fog. But you know what's interesting? It is so foggy right now. I could take a pee in the garden and the neighbours wouldn't even see me. Foggy. Is it ever foggy where you live? let me know.
Lovely landscape right there, isn't it? As you can see, the lake is right there. We have mountains and trees all over the place. But you can't see shit because it's foggy. Absolutely. Foggy. F-O-G-G-Y. And you know, usually there's a wonderful, magnificent view there, but not right now. You can kind of get a good idea of the fog when you see the trees in the background and how you can hardly see some of them. So folks, it is a beautiful day up here in Foggy, BC. I'm trudging through the snow right now. Take a look. To trudge, it's definitely one collocation with snow. To walk through the snow, or in my case, I'm trudging through the snow. He trudged through the snow, and it's like you walk difficultly through it, which it is not easy. But this is what I wanted to show you. Finally! We finally got snow. Take a look around, folks. The snow is falling, and it has been for about 10 hours now. My car was covered in snow this morning. I had to put the chains on because we finally got snow. It is December. Usually we have snow in November. So we use finally as a way to say something has happened when it should have happened ages ago. Finally we have snow. We finally have snow. Yay! Finally have snow in downtown Kelowna. Hello. These are icicles. Icicles. If you didn't know, now you know. Here is some random cabin English. This is a stove. This here is the choke. The choke. Look at the wood inside. Now let me turn the choke or open the choke. And the fire picks up. But if I close the choke, the fire starts to die down. The choke, the fire, the stove, the chimney, the wood piles, the kindling, the boots drying by the fire. But now I'm going to have to open the choke to get more airflow, so this cabin will get warmer faster. Usually I'll have the choke all the way to the left at night, so it's a slower burn of the wood and you wouldn't burn as much at night. But now, because I just arrived, I want to make it warmer. The choke is going to go all the way open. And thus, the fire will pick up a lot faster, and then I will add more wood. Random cabin English for you. A great Canadian pastime. One thing that we love to do in Canada is to clear our cars of snow. It is so much fun. Watch this. So much fun. See how happy I am? Fun. We do this fun pastime nearly every day in winter. What are some pastimes from your country? Let me know in the comments. To be really coming down. So as you can see, I'm covered in snow. I've only been outside for about 5 minutes, but it is really coming down. Basically means there's a lot of snow and it's very heavy. So I could say it's snowing, I could say it's really snowing, or I could just say it's really coming down right now. I do kind of love it though. Don't
be a Scrooge. Christmas expression. A Scrooge is a person who does not like to spend money. A Scrooge can be an employer who does not pay a lot of wages, despite the fact that they have lots of money themselves. The expression "don't be a Scrooge" can be used when you're talking to a person who's not spending their money, who doesn't want to spend their money. For example, I told my brother not to be a Scrooge because he wouldn't pitch in $5 for Mom's birthday present. My boss is such a Scrooge. He pays his workers $10 an hour and he drives a Tesla. He has 3 of them. So, if someone is a Scrooge, they're tight-fisted, they don't like spending money. Nobody likes a Scrooge.
This is January snow. This is not snow for November. This is not November snow. This is January snow. So, I'm using January snow as a way to let you know that this amount of snow is not normal for this time of year where I live. This is the type of snow we are used to in January, not November. You could also use it for rain. This is January rain, not July rain, or something like that. For some weather feature, you can use it. So, right now where you are, is the weather the way it is normally meant to be? Because for me, not really. This is more like January. This is January snow. There you go. Whoo!
Yesterday was the 21st of December, which means it was the shortest day of the year. The day with the least amount of daylight. But good news, because that means every day from now on, we're going to have more and more and more daylight. In Canada, where I'm living, daylight starts at about 8 a.m. and daylight ends at about 4:30 p.m, or it did yesterday. So every day it'll be a little longer from now on. Where do you live and how much daylight do you have? In my country, in Ireland, not Canada, in Ireland, in June, we can have daylight until about 11 or 11:30 sometimes. Very different to here. Anywho, where are you and what are your hours of daylight? Let me know.
What's up? I'm just out for a quick walk. As you can see, it's very snowy. Yesterday, it snowed about 20 centimeters in a very short time. We almost got snowed in. If you get snowed in, you can't leave your house because there's too much snow. You know, you might try to open your door, but you can't because there's a wall of snow. So yesterday, we almost got snowed in. If you get snowed in, you just gotta wait. That's all that you can do. So, thankfully, we did not get snowed in. But in Canada, it can happen a lot. Can you get snowed in where you live? Let me know.